Everybody keeps asking why their brilliant idea died somewhere between the whiteboard and reality. And the answer might make you uncomfortable. It wasn't the market, it wasn't the timing, and it definitely wasn't the algorithm. Here's the quiet scandal hiding inside every failed initiative. Most people never actually defined the problem they were solving. You spent 6 months building a solution to a question nobody properly asked. And that, right there, is how graveyards of good intentions get filled. Think of a poorly framed problem like trying to fix a leaky roof by mopping the floor. You're busy, you're sweating, and the ceiling is still dripping. Entrepreneurs who win do something almost embarrassingly simple. They stop mopping and they climb up to find the actual hole. The reframe is everything. And it's harder than it sounds because organizations are basically immune systems with org charts. The moment you propose changing how something fundamentally works, every antibody in the building shows up in a meeting to explain why it can't be done. Remember when disruption was the sexiest word in business? When every pitch deck promised to be the Uber of something? Now, those same boardrooms are paralyzed by committee, and the bold vision has been safely watered down into a pilot program nobody's accountable for. The psychological weight of institutional resistance is genuinely underestimated. You start second-guessing yourself, borrowing other people's doubts like they're yours. Jeff Bezos once said something worth tattooing on your monitor. If you can't tolerate critics, don't do anything new or interesting. History is absolutely littered with ideas that were right but early, and people who were right but alone. The personal computer was a toy, the internet was a fad, and remote work was career suicide until the day each of those things became so obvious that everyone pretended they believed all along. Here's the cycle that keeps repeating itself in every industry across every decade. An outsider reframes the problem. Insiders resist. Momentum builds slowly. And then suddenly the new approach is just called the way things work. Knowing you're inside that cycle doesn't make it painless, but it does make it legible. Now let's talk about the role AI plays here, because this is where the conversation gets genuinely interesting and slightly ironic. AI can help you brainstorm the reframe, map the stakeholders, and draft the communication plan, but it absolutely cannot walk into that hostile all-hands meeting and take the heat when things go sideways. Accountability is the last truly non-automatable ingredient in the entrepreneurial recipe. And that's not a poetic sentiment. It's a structural fact about how trust and change actually move through human systems. When something fails, people need a face, a person, someone who owns the outcome, and no language model has ever lost sleep over a missed quarter. The practical lesson from every successful change agent is almost embarrassingly boring. Find 2 allies before you make your first public move. You don't need everyone. You don't need consensus. You need a small coalition of people who see what you see and are willing to say so out loud. Manage your position size emotionally and strategically. Don't bet your entire reputation on one unreformed institution that hasn't asked to be saved yet. The discipline is in iterating quietly, measuring honestly, and resisting the urge to declare victory before the new behavior has actually stuck. At the philosophical level, every meaningful change you've ever seen was the result of someone who stayed in the room longer than was comfortable. Discipline, consistency, and the willingness to own the result, not intelligence, not charisma, not the fanciest tools, are what separate the transformers from the consultants. You can be absolutely comfortable not controlling how the resistance unfolds, because rational preparation means you've already thought through the 3 most likely failure modes and built contingencies for each. That kind of equanimity isn't passive. It's the most sophisticated competitive advantage in the room. The real edge belongs to whoever is willing to define the problem clearly, recruit the right people, and keep showing up long after the excitement has faded. And if you're ready to apply that same mindset to building real assets through real estate investing, contracting work, or connecting with the right lenders, check out our links in the description below.